let's talk about the token playbook launch for Solid, because this is really interesting.
Yeah.
It makes you very different as a founder and how you executed it. And obviously, you know, we're investors. I was there on a Twitter space on the day of your launch. I think I was talking about it, and it was amazing to see. I think you did a pre-launch on Swissborg, which are good friends of ours. We're investors in them as well. And then a few days later, you did a postmortem, which I thought was really interesting, where you, I think, called out a couple other maybe competitors in this space, and you called out the way they launched versus the way you launched.
Yeah.
Let's talk real about that. What were you trying to achieve with your launch, and what were you very careful to make a mistake not to do? And just for the record, like, Simon's very serious about this, and you're a very tough negotiator as well, because you wanted the launch to go great. You wanted to take care of your token holders and your community, right?
Yeah. And we wanted to have the value accrual for a large set of holders as early as possible. That's kind of the ultimate goal, because
The most people make money on your launch versus a small few.
if you make many people happy with your project early on, you create a set of super fans and ambassadors that will lift your project up much quicker, right? And I just believe that this is the best way to do it. As long as you make many people happy, they will help you to push the way forward, right? And that's always going to be our main objective here. I mean, even the Solana ID business case itself is trying to make people happy by giving them more perks on chain, right? But we also want them to own the success of the protocol early on. So instead of letting in like the best 3-4 VCs and that's it in your private rounds, doing everything behind curtains and so on, and then screaming loud about it as soon as your token launches, so that then all the attention from the community flocks in. Instead of doing that, we decided to be very transparent and open about everything we do very early on. So the very first funding round, like even before we ever talked together, we already did community participation in the pre-seed round. So instead of just, calling up my VC friends and telling them like, I have this deal for you, do you want in? I just called up a few private communities of friends of mine that they're running. Just a Discord server with like 500, 600 people that are all eager to invest and be part of, the next tech acceleration. And we showed the deal to them. Some NFT communities on Solana that are just, they're holding NFTs with a high value. They're usually looking for deals for angel investments and so on. Show them what we're doing. And this way, we kind of got up to 70 investors in the pre-seed round, which is an insane amount of investors in a small pre-seed round. It was not a lot of money that we raised back then as well, because the second big thing we're doing different, besides having a kind of very distributed cap table, is also have a pretty low valuation. I worked in VC before, and when we invested in startups, we looked at their business case, we looked at their revenue streams that might be not existent because it's so early, and we valued them based on what they have, or better, based on the lack of things they have, right? Which is usually not a lot. And then we gave them a valuation, which is like $500,000, $1 million, and so on. In crypto, it's like $50 million, right? Because you're building, the next whatever, and you have this partnership and this one on your website. It's all noise, it's all fake, right? The problem when you start so high is you can't go back. If your first funding round is 50 mil, your second needs to be 250. Otherwise, the first investor's going to be like, what the heck are you doing? Why are we devaluing? Why did I invest so early? So you always need to go up. When you reach token launch, you're going to be at 500 million, 1 billion, 2 billion. That's like the standard in crypto when you launch your project. So in that moment, you're starting to distribute your cap table. At that moment, you let your community in. So now you have like 5, 10 investors that invested at pretty high valuations before. Now you need to do the huge valuation at the public sale and all the community gets in. But the guys that invested earlier, they want their money back very soon. So they will sell the tokens in the next couple of weeks and months as soon as they can, because you launched at such high valuation and they already made 10x. So all we do right now is just keep things a bit more humble, be a bit more long-term focused, low valuation, big distribution of cap tables, fair vesting schedules, not too long, not too short, that everyone is kind of fair incentivized to hold the token, and just get the right people on board as well. So maybe you felt it a bit when we talk. Every one of our investors felt it, at least to an extent, that we're quite picky. We're not really backing down too quickly, because we want the right people in the protocol, because we believe if we have 100 people that believe that we're onto something, they'll stick around, they'll have the bravery to stick around with us and push us forward and don't back out quickly. And that worked out well so far, like this whole strategy. So I think essentially what we did different, was the low valuation in the early funding rounds, the big distribution of investors, and the kind of curated, model that we have at really looking closely at every deal, talking to the people we let in, not signing the crazy KOL contracts too early.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.
You want to be a bit more careful with that. We made mistakes on the way, but the mistakes don't outweigh the good decisions we made.
And overall, you launched at a pretty low valuation. It was 20 mil?
20, yeah.
20 mil. You had some great price appreciation, of course, some volatility afterwards, which is normal.
Yeah.
But then when you wrote that post, it was like, what, a week later or 5 days later?
Yeah.
You compared it with other projects that might have launched at 200 million or 400 million or 500 million that were now maybe below sea level.
Oh, yeah.
And so all these things are below sea level, which means probably every community member is down money. So even if they love you, it's hard to continue loving you after that.
Yeah.
And maybe the VCs already got out. If they're out, then they're not very useful to you. And this is this broken model in crypto that doesn't work anymore. Short-sighted. And again, like how many billion-dollar protocols are there? There's not that many. The top 100 are billion-dollar protocols.
Yeah.
So like all these companies coming out thinking you're going to launch at $1 billion or $2 billion. It's like, no, you're not. And we're seeing a lot more people adopt this strategy, but not everybody has the wherewithal to actually do it.
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
It is hard.
You're under pressure.
Yeah.
You're like, God, maybe I should send that KOL. Maybe I really could use that VC.
It is a bit like, we know it from the fitness journey a bit. Because you always have to kind of, how do you say it? You need to take the short-term pain right now for the long-term pleasure. Right? That's gym, right? Because it fucking hurts, like you're lifting the weights and it's painful and it sucks and you're sweating and it doesn't give you anything right now, really. It just sucks right now. But like in a month from now, you might, feel a bit better. Your muscles are growing, you feel stronger, but it's like a month from now. Like how, at that moment right now, when I feel the pain, I just want that pain to go away. So it's very human in business and your personal life and your health, journey to make bad decisions for short-term pleasure, for long-term pain. And in crypto, it's the same shit, like all over again, because, I want this VC to be on board with me. Whatever they say, I'll take it. Like, just take the deal. Like, fuck, whatever. Like, I want the logo on my website because it will give me 50,000 more followers on X. They don't give a shit about you when they come. The VC doesn't give a shit about you because he just wants his terms. So just, think a bit more in the long term. It will be painful in the short term. But as builders, like me and my co-founders, we learned that long ago. We had our bad times already. Right now, we're having fun. Like, even if it's hard right now, it's much better than it was a year from now or 2 years from now. It's been much worse. I think looking at the token and how, reflecting on it, the journey was really well. We're still above the pre-seed, the seed and the public valuation, even though we're at the lowest point right now that we've been ever after the launch. Solana dumped, Bitcoin dumped. We saw the big red candle 2 days ago. Everyone is scared. But we're kind of holding, and we didn't even launch our product yet. We don't even have the utility of the token yet. We didn't do a larger outreach campaign, so just consolidating. So I think the strategy so far worked out really well. And last comment as well, you mentioned Swissborg. We did it with them. We did it with the launchpad that they came up with, Borgpad. And they just did their second sale yesterday, I think. So second sale after us. Obviously, we've been a bit the guinea pig because we've been the first sale on Borgpad. A few things didn't went well with us. We had to kind of suck it up. Nothing happened. But obviously now they did everything better with the second one. And it worked out. It was an even better launch. It was the same kind of model. Low FTV, right? Like low valuation, community-centric, and then a fair launch on the launch pad with getting people in early on. It was beautiful. Like, nice chart, went up. They have like two big advantages, which is they learn from our mistakes and they're riding the agent wave. It's an agent launch pad.
Got it.
So But good job for Voktat. Like, they're doing a great job there.
Yeah, and again, just back to the community and being transparent.
Yeah.
That's gonna win in the long run.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside, I view, is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the investment club.